You hold a device with access to nearly all human knowledge, connected to billions, yet you often close the app feeling drained, isolated, and exhausted. For most of human history, physical resources were scarce. Today, we live in absolute information abundance. The information supply moves vertically, while human attention remains biologically capped. This infinite wealth of information inherently creates a poverty of attention. Because your focus is scarce, it is now the primary traded commodity on the internet. We exist inside the attention economy. Your daily screen time, your specific finger taps, and your lingering glances are harvested, packaged, and sold to advertisers. The economist who first diagnosed this exact bottleneck was Nobel laureate Herbert A. Simon. He realized decades ago that information consumes the attention of its recipients, long before the first smartphone was ever built. That persistent digital exhaustion is not a personal failure. The platforms you use every day are engineered with multi-billion-dollar budgets to mine your consciousness until the very last drop. This diagram shows a minimalist cross-section of the human brain. We have two modes of focus. Controlled attention is governed by the prefrontal cortex, the region at the front responsible for complex cognitive behavior. Automatic attention is a reflexive, survival-driven scanning mechanism rooted deep in the brainstem, the part of the brain that regulates involuntary reflexes. Tech platforms are designed to bypass your controlled attention. By flooding your feed with emotionally charged stimuli, jagged spikes of activity hit your brainstem, targeting primitive impulses before you can consciously look away. To keep you scrolling, these platforms utilize a behavioral engineering tactic known as variable rewards. The treats you get, a like, a comment, a new video, are unpredictable. This mechanism was perfected in the mid-20th century by psychologist B.F. Skinner. He used an operant conditioning chamber, a laboratory apparatus where lab mice pressed a lever to receive unpredictable treats. The lab mice who received their food rewards on an entirely unpredictable, random schedule became the most obsessed and compulsive lever pressers in the experiment. Inside your smartphone, social validation is the treat, and it runs on dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that transmits feelings of pleasure. Right before you check your phone, your brain experiences a mini deficit state, a plunge in dopamine that creates an intense craving to look at the screen. Social media algorithms map this cycle. They can withhold the likes on your recent post to extend that deficit state, only delivering the notifications in a sudden burst when their models predict it will maximize your dopamine spike. By hijacking our need for social connection, these platforms treat us like Skinner's mice. Our own neurology has been mapped and optimized to keep us on the platform. Digital platforms harvest the invisible data of your micro-interactions, the duration of a hover, the millisecond you pause scrolling, and the apps you switch between. This heat map shows predictable switching patterns when productivity is the goal. Color intensity highlights where activity is concentrated. These dense clusters map exactly when users switch from work to social media, identifying the precise moments willpower drops. Extraction is moving toward raw physiological data. Wearable neurotechnologies and VR headsets are capable of tracking your pupil dilation and the exact duration of your gaze. VR stands for virtual reality, a computer-generated environment that simulates a physical presence. These biometric reactions are involuntary. A dilated pupil or a lingering glance reveals your hidden emotional states, your fears, and your unconscious biases, all cataloged by the platform in real time. This data is the foundation of the intention economy. The intention economy is an economic system where businesses utilize predictive AI to map out what you will do next. Technology has transitioned from observing your behavior to mapping your subconscious. Because the algorithm predicts your desires before you are even aware of them, the origin of your choices begins to shift from your own mind to the machine's model. In this system, the concept of free will is pressured by an architecture that knows your next move better than you do. You can break this extraction loop. The algorithms are powerful, but the mechanism of your attention still belongs to you. In the late 19th century, philosopher William James noted that our individual reality is defined entirely by what we choose to focus on. As he put it, "My experience is what I agree to attend to." Reclaiming that experience starts with the practice of slow media. This is the deliberate renegotiation of how we consume information, focusing on quality, depth, and intentionality over speed and volume. Algorithmic feeds are designed to be frictionless. Slow media embraces friction. Reading a long-form article or watching a deeply researched film requires an effort that rebuilds your capacity for deep focus. Resisting the attention economy does not mean throwing away your devices. It means changing the terms of your engagement, moving away from reactive consumption to proactive selection. The goal of this shift is cognitive autonomy. That is, the ability to self-direct your own thoughts and intentions without external manipulation. Human focus is a highly sought-after resource. Taking control of your attention is the ultimate act of rebellion.